Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the Cronkest Show in social media history. I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone. I got my man in the building, Donovan Sadiq. I got the Queen, Demetra K. And I am the 5-star general. They trying to cancel Deshaun Watson, quarterback for the Houston Texans. But the shit don't seem right, man. I know how I feel about it. We want to know how you feel about it. D&D gonna tell you how they feel about it. Let's get to it, man. Say, man, I want to welcome you to another episode of the War Zone and tell you thank you for tuning in. And without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. So I really appreciate you taking the time out to come hang out with these two intellectual black people and this goddamn fool. So I'm gonna start it off by saying I'm still in Minneapolis. Ain't too much moving. I think we're gonna crank up this weekend. The national structure of the new Black Panther Party will be in town. Malik Shabazz, and it's gonna heat up. But I will say that, minus the snowstorm and all that, I got a request, and that's what I was doing in the back room when we were getting ready. I'm writing a new song for Jackie A. Senior High School. I've been requested to do that again. We're gonna shoot the video, and we're gonna shoot a big video. The last time I pulled the Texas Southern Ocean of Soul out of my pocket and had them coming down the street for me. So ain't no telling what I'm gonna do on this video. I see a pool party. That's what I see, a crimson and gold pool party. Because we're gonna set it off. Donovan, what's going on, my friend?
Oh my goodness. Can't wait for that video to come out. Welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the War Zone, you guys. Thank you for tuning in, because we know you guys can tune into a lot of pages and stuff like that, but you guys tune to stay with us. Real quick in the news, I don't know if you guys are in my comments. I said, of the 8 people who were killed today, a white man attacked 3 Metro Atlanta spas. 6 were Asians. And we told you guys a long time ago, the same people that are attacking these Asians are the same people that have been attacking black people for 4 centuries. 4 centuries now. And, you guys are running into this narrative, oh, black people are doing this. We're not in a position of power to do that, okay? And then number 2, if we're attacking Asians, why are they setting up businesses in our communities if we're such a threat to them? So don't believe the hype on that. And I just want to read something real quick. This is a CNN article, and it says, fetish-sized, sexualized, and marginalized. Asian women are uniquely vulnerable to violence. Haven't we been saying that about our black women for centuries now? The slave master didn't waste no time going down to the slave shack and telling the brother to get out while he goes in. Come on now, you guys are smarter than that. Demetra?
So hello, everybody. Hope everything is going well with you. If y'all could do us a favor and please share this live so that everybody else can get the information and join in on the conversation. I know that this live is being shared on my page, Donovan's page, and Gary has a few pages to share it on, and also YouTube. But if you guys can do us a favor and share it, that'd be lovely. And so tonight we are going to talk about the situation that involves Deshaun Watson. You guys may or may not have heard that a prominent lawyer in Texas, Houston, Tony Busby, who we've had on the show once before, he has leveled a lawsuit against Deshaun, alleging that he has sexually assaulted one woman, and a couple of other women, I guess, are coming out saying that he assaulted them during, I guess, a massage or something like that. And so Deshaun has vehemently denied such allegations. So you guys should also know that Deshaun does play for the Texans. This is his 4th year. He secured the 2nd highest contract in NFL history to the tune of $156 million. So far, he's been paid about $75 million. Now, what had happened was, you guys should get the backstory. They, being the Texans, were in the midst of hiring a coach. And Deshaun said, hey, I need to sit in on that meeting. And they told him he would sit in on the meeting to select the coach. That didn't happen. So Deshaun felt disrespected, among a whole host of other things, like a lot of key players leaving. You guys know J.J. Watt left, DeAndre Hopkins left, and a couple other people. And so he also wants to leave before his contract is over. Now, why is all of that important? So you mean to tell me, and then I'm just put this out there and give it to Gary, that their star player, who is one of the best players in the NFL, secured the second highest contract in NFL history, all of a sudden is getting this dirt thrown on him. Now, it should also be said too that Tony Busby was great friends with Bob McNair. So what's really going on here? We're gonna get into it, Gary.
I need somebody out there. Y'all know the man. Get it to Deshaun. Maybe not for my comments or Demetrius' comments, because I don't know what they thinking. We don't script this show. But I mean, for my comments, bullshit. Straight up bullshit. First of all, when you're getting paid $156 million, you don't have to rape no goddamn body. You go buy you some pussy. But he didn't have to buy no pussy because he took a San Antonio Spurs basketball player's gal from him. So I say it's bullshit. And I say that the Texans are playing a very, very nasty, dirty game, because if you can tarnish his image, nobody will want to trade with you. You'll keep him stuck. And then if you get to a point where he says, well, okay, the hell with it, I'm still not going to play for you, then you'll try to use the morality clause in his contract, make him give back the money that you already gave to him. We done seen it before. When you want to cancel, and it's for any white person, whoever gets upset about this. When you want to cancel Mr. Grab him by the pussy, then I'll have something else different to say. But why does it take these people a year, 2 years, 30 years to come forward when somebody done did you something sexually wrong? Somebody at a massage place? Oh, well, they got receipts. Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I was in Little League football. This ain't got nothing to do with it, Dimitri, but I need you to hear me. Don't you know I used to sit at the national championships in Florida with a laptop and a computer and make birth certificates? I'd be damned if I can't manufacture some goddamn text. Man, y'all need to stop falling for that bullshit. That boy want out of here, let him go. Let him go. But this the game you gonna play? This the game you gonna play? Dirty. That's all I gotta say. Down.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people got to understand these professional sports leagues, especially the basketball and the football leagues. The players now in the modern game have more power because of these TV deals that give them more money right off the top. And when you got more money, you have more say so. And in the modern game, the quarterback is the most important position of any franchise. That's why Tom Brady's still out there. You've got these great Drew Brees just retired, whatever. So, you know, a lot of your franchise is based on that quarterback. And you got Deshaun Watson is pretty young. He's only been in the league 3 or 4 years. Got that great contract. I'm happy for him. But it just seems to me that when a black man asserts his position as if he was a Tom Brady, or if he was a Drew Brees, or if he was a Peyton Manning, there's a problem. And the best way, when the guy wants out, and he probably has a no trade clause in his contract where, you know, they have to ask him if he wanted to be traded or whatever. He probably has that. So the best way that they call them now, what do they call them? Managers now, or they're not owners anymore. They're something, chairmans or something of these teams, the owners of the teams. The best way to devalue a player, especially a black player, is to put the stigma that is known in the United States against him, a sexual predator. He's doing this, he's doing that. And then other teams will not touch him, just like the 5-star said, just like Demetra said, because of that stigma that surrounds him. It has nothing to do with it being true or not true. It just lowers his value and his cap, where he's toxic, he's radioactive. But then again, you could be Ben Roethlisberger and get accused of rape, or you could be a Peyton Manning and get accused of rape, and you still go on and make millions and trillions of dollars. But Kelly McGowan, she says, Tony Busby is one of the finest people I know, and he wouldn't file if he couldn't prove it. You know, Tony is honest and he can buy and sell. Kelly, I'm going to say this, and this is Donovan speaking, not my other panel members. Tony is a Marine, and yes, but you got to remember, he is a lawyer. And what I'm saying is he's doing his job. This is not about Tony's honesty or de-honesty. It's about Tony being a lawyer. That's all there is to it. He's doing a job that he's being paid for. So to bring Tony into it really isn't really relevant to the situation of what is going on with Deshaun.
Well, I mean, she brings Tony into it. Let's bring Deshaun's lawyer into it, Rusty Harden. When the last time Rusty lost a motherfucking case? I don't give a damn what the case was. Rusty Harden don't lose. So these super lawyers finna go against each other. Rusty's not finna lose, man. I don't know what it is about that dude. Tony's a fine guy. Rusty's a fine guy. Rusty is battle tested in this type of stuff. It is what it is, man.
So, hey, Kelly, how you doing? And so you actually made me think of something. You say so. Tony, and your other comment says he basically he could buy Deshaun 5 times over, basically indicating that, you know, Tony Busby is extremely wealthy from what I heard. So I take your word for it. So if it's not about money and he can buy Deshaun 5 times over, then what is it about? What is it about? Especially if him and Bob McNair were good friends, or he knew the owner or whatever, and they know that, you know, Deshaun is an asset to the Texans. What else would it be other than they want to get some get back on him because he wants to leave? What else would it be? So, I mean, I don't know if you're friends with Tony, but you kind of exposing something here, because I didn't know he could buy, which I don't know if you want to necessarily use those two terms with a black man, buy him 5 times over. But the fact that it's not about money, you got to ask yourself, what is it about then? Is he being put up to do this? Is this revenge because he wants to leave? Like, what is it really if it's not about money? And I mean, anybody could say, you know, somebody did something to him. Where is the proof to, you know, level such allegations? I mean, I've seen it all on the news. And so this thing has gone, you know, pretty far. So if it's, and then also, then it says in his little statement, he says it's not about money. You want to protect women and all this other stuff. Don't you want to protect the women when you know that he is guilty? So what's this really about?
In the last few months, we've seen African Americans attacked the same way we've seen it the last few years. You got Bill Cosby sitting in jail on some bullshit. Let's just tell the real. You know, and here's the thing. When you cancel us, y'all can either try to cancel us and hurt us financially, or you kill us. Man, I mean, Michael Jackson, I mean, he mysteriously dies over overdose. Come on. We know Mike was fighting for. Bill Cosby wanted to buy CBS. You know, NBC, I'm sorry, NBC. You know, Prince wanted his masters. Everybody ended up dead. Now you go after T.I. Anybody from our side that speaks up for anything, you want to cancel us. Tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just speaking. I'm not speaking something that's not proven. It's facts. Pac was speaking, you kill him. Biggie was a casualty of war. But if you look at us in the last few years, you know, Nip, same thing, Alan Guillory, right? Nip trying to change the hood, he ended up dead. Now you're going after Deshaun Watson? Let me see if I get this right, Don. You go after Deshaun, but Ben Roethlisberger did it. And the motherfucker is still playing and can retire when he wants? Are we serious? Oh, what about the white guy up in Seattle that beat up that black girl 2 months ago? You don't hear shit about it no more. But Deshaun Watson? And by the way, let's just be real about it. You know, I was a freak in my younger days. A bona fide little fat freak. I know what goes on in them Asian massage parlors. You pay for what you want.
And don't forget to throw something else in the equation too. that Deshaun actually participated in the George Floyd protests. And what did Bob McNair get in trouble for saying a few years back about the inmates and the sane asylum or whatever it was? Didn't he get some heat behind that? So, I mean, you can throw those two things in there too. I mean, if we're going to dirty up some people, let's just go on and tell the whole truth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's because it's like, to me, it's the easiest thing to do is to, especially a black man, okay? And y'all can talk about the race card all you want to, but it's very easy to accuse a black man of being inappropriate with women. I don't know what these women are. I guess we'll probably never find out because they never really want to, disclose their identity. But that's the easiest thing to do is to put a sexual case on a black man, and they know most people will believe it. But it's like if there's no proof, and then Kelly here is saying Tony is a good man. If he filed, then he has proof or whatever. Where's the proof? Where is the nail in the coffin that Deshaun is guilty?
All right, let me read Kelly's comment right here. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty, but just because he's a good athlete, why do you think the women are lying? I have no idea what ethnicity these women are, but it doesn't matter. Tony will tell you he doesn't need publicity and could never spend all the money he's earned in his lifetime. Well, I tell you what, if you want to buy some good pussy, go to the motherfucking Asian massage parlor. I done bought pussy in the Asian massage parlor. And ain't nobody motherfucking call no cops on me. You didn't have no problem taking my money. And I made you put a hump in your back like a Halloween cat. I'm just gonna tell you the real, man. And all this, we gotta give them the benefit of the doubt. Do something about your last motherfucking president that was grabbing folks by their pussy. And you got one sitting in there now that got sexual allegations against him. You ain't trying to take him out of his fucking job. I said it and I ain't went nowhere since I said it.
Yeah, one thing about I lived in Asia growing up and lived in Japan. Now, one thing, a lot of these people, if you saw a lot of Asians that have been on interviews, a lot of them are of Vietnamese descent. In the Asian culture, they have a caste system as well. And the Southeast Asians are like at the lower caste system within the Asians. You have the Chinese, you have the Japanese, you have all the different parts. But prostitution, or whatever you want to call it, is within the Asian culture. Do you guys realize that the United States is one of the only few countries that doesn't have legalized prostitution? Every major country has it. There's a red light district and you go to it. But this thing, like I said, this thing isn't about Tony. Tony's doing a job. Tony is a lawyer. This is not about Tony. Tony is a lawyer. So I don't care if I got the money and I'm going to hire him to do a job. If he takes it or if he doesn't, has no credibility on Tony whatsoever. Tony is doing a job. Let's take him out of it. But just like the 5-star just said, and just like Demetra just said, when it seems to me you got a Ben Roethlisberger and a Peyton Manning, and you've got these people that had dead to right allegations against them, somehow they seem to get out of it. And they go on to make millions of dollars and commercials, and they become legends and all this other stuff. But then when you've got this guy here who wants out, or whatever the situation is, whenever it's a black man, that's the quickest and easiest way to cut him off at the knees. But you know what? I think we need to hear from a season ticket holder, Al Jackson, and let's see what Al has to say in regards to his beloved Texans.
It's so motherfucking easy to throw these allegations out there. And a lot of these superstars, whether they're athletes, entertainers, or whatever, they'll just pay for the shit to go away. They'll just pay for it. See, and what amazes me is he did this supposedly to 4 women and there's no criminal complaint. No criminal complaint. Nobody called the cops. Nobody did nothing. But in the middle of a heated situation of wanting to be traded, it mysteriously comes up. No, I'm not mad at Tony for doing his job. He got to do his job. He make his money. But, me, that's one reason why I want to be a lawyer. Because I want to look in your eye. Because I'm going to tell you flat out in your face when you come to me as a client. You a goddamn lie, I don't want the assignment. All money ain't good money. And this boy here, no matter what nobody say, and the reason that we're going to stand up and defend Deshaun, we're going to defend Deshaun for Bill Cosby. We're going to defend Deshaun for Cuba Gooding Jr. We're going to defend Deshaun for T.I. and Tyner. We're going to defend Deshaun for all the other ones that they done did the same shit to. And we tired of it, man. Regardless if you black, Latino, whatever. It's a whole bunch of other people that do this shit and ain't no a quarterback. We talking about a quarterback. I sound like Iverson now. A quarterback, huh? When you had the owner of the New England Patriots, Robert Kraft, got caught in a prostitution ring 2 years ago.
Yeah, and it wasn't even prostitution. They were charging with human trafficking because it wasn't like his first time being there and doing that. So you don't hear nothing about that case.
Stand for Kraft, man. But a black quarterback, and you think we ain't gonna stand up to it? Man, please.
Right. And so, I was just looking at Mr. Busby's statement, and one of the things that he said was, this case was filed against Watson. This case we just filed against Watson isn't about money. It's about dignity and stopping behavior that should be stopped now. All right, let's just stop right there. Everybody y'all just mentioned, Robert Kraft, Ben Roethlisberger, the dude that got caught up in one of the coaches in Miami, he got caught up in some sex shit. Chris somebody, and a whole host of other people. Now, if you want to be the Cape Crusader and you want to stop that behavior, why didn't you go after them? Why did you go after Deshaun? I mean, come on, now let's keep it real. If you ain't good with the family, the owners, and they're pissed off that he's leaving because they did him dirty, and it's not about money, what is it about? It's about you, and I'm going to say allegedly so we don't get in trouble here, Tony. It's about you helping the family out by putting some mud on this dude's name because he wasn't having no problems before now. Now all of a sudden, so now it sounds like 4 women are coming out. Come on, man. Really, this is a 25-year-old. To me, he's a child. 25, and I saw some footage of him when he bought his mom a house. You know, his mom is a cancer survivor. She, her tongue is missing due to tongue cancer and all of that. The way he speaks of his mother, because I see Tony talk about how he reverenced his mom in his statement. Well, Deshaun reverenced his mom too. He has a great deal of love for his mom. I can't see him abusing 4 women. And especially in this day and age of Me Too, ain't no Negro getting away with abusing 4 women, and they gonna be quiet up until now. I mean, come on, y'all gotta be smarter than that. But the other thing is, they know that most people will believe that kind of stuff just because a prominent lawyer said it. Oh, it must be true. But come on, y'all gotta do the math. This is not hard to follow. This is a hit job on Deshaun, if I've ever seen one. Okay, this is some bullshit. You ain't about no money. You about tearing up his reputation so that no other team will want him, because if we can't have him, nobody else can. That's what this is about.
Kelly McElroy says, you think Bill Cosby is innocent. It's a laughing matter. It really ain't a laughing matter to us. It really ain't a laughing matter. I'm really holding my tongue right now with you. Harvey Weinstein was white and powerful, and he went down, so white men don't get a pass. Every white man that was on that motherfucking flight list did. Every white man that was on that flight list got a pass. Every one of them that was going to that island sleeping with them babies got a pass. The same motherfuckers that you vote for every year, the same white motherfuckers that you vote for every year got a pass for sleeping with babies. And you won't even bring this case to court because you would tear up the United States government if you did. So we really don't want to hear this shit. And do I think Bill Cosby is innocent? You goddamn right I think he's innocent. I think he wanted to buy NBC. And everybody with common sense and a pair of fucking eyes and ears can see and hear that's exactly what he wanted. I think Prince was a casualty of the war because he wanted his goddamn masters. When you want what you want from you people, you will come after us. So I expect sooner or later, because of the war zone, some of y'all to come after me. I wish a motherfucker would. I live by the Cedric Entertainer laws. I wish a motherfucker would. See, because everybody ain't playing with y'all. Everybody ain't playing your little fly-ass comments and all that bullshit. Leave Deshaun Watson alone. You don't want to do him like you would do you talk to Schaub if he was the quarterback of the Texans. You talk to David Carr, sorry ass, when he was the quarterback of the Texans. But you don't want to talk to Deshaun, huh? And he supposed to lay there and take that shit. Deshaun decided not to be one of the inmates.
Yeah, Kelly says Jeffrey Epstein, that's a different man. No, that's not the point. The point is there is a list of a bunch of people that are connected
Let me say this here. She said, I think you're an idiot and you lost me as a fan. Get the fuck on there.
No, let her stay so she can get.
Let her get the fuck on.
No, let her stay so she can.
She can fan these nuts. That's what she can fan.
Let her stay so she can get this work, because she obviously she needs a little education. Because while she's sitting up there wanting Deshaun to get his just due, I know you a Trump supporter. Why haven't you asked your boy Tony to go after Trump for all the sexual allegations, including a 13-year-old baby that he's accused of abusing? How come? Where is all this, hoorah for Trump? What's the difference? Because it's Trump. He was the president. He's above reproach. But yeah, y'all want to go after Deshaun, who just now this is coming to light. I mean, when I saw the statement, and Gary posted, I put a bunch of question marks, as did a lot of people, like, what's going on? And then we started to hear, it's some sex stuff, to which is like, oh, okay, here we go again. But y'all got all that energy for black ass Deshaun, but you ain't got none of that energy for orange ass Trump. And he's been having allegations for years, but I just went to your page and you love everything him and the first lady do. But yet you want Deshaun to be found guilty for something that, he hasn't. This is new, right? Like, this is the first we've heard of it, but you haven't said anything about Trump's allegations. I mean, where is your balance at?
Well, not just Trump allegations. Biden has allegations against him as well. I mean, all of these people that are connected to the Epstein case, like I said, this man mysteriously ends up dead all of a sudden under the Trump administration. The clowns he had in the Justice Department that shut down investigations in regards to the Epstein case. Maxwell, his female whatever person, they won't let her out, or much less talk to anybody. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, you can go down the whole list of the United States government and entertainers that have visited that island and are involved in child sex trafficking. And you have a problem. You won't say anything about that, but you have a problem with a football player who wants to be traded out. And then I kind of looked it up a little bit. I couldn't find any sheriff charges or police charges against Deshaun Watson in regards to a felony indictment. So, what is this about? I mean, is this another Trump fake investigation of Kavanaugh, a Supreme Court justice? They're saying that investigation was fake to put him on the Supreme Court justice. But that's how you Trump people roll. Y'all don't believe in democracy. You don't believe in fairness. You believe in white supremacy.
They're mad because the Negro, now I'm saying it to be nice because I know what they really think about him. They're mad because he wouldn't play ball. They're mad because he didn't like that they disregarded him, when it's not unusual for, franchise players, key players to sit in on decision-making meetings. That's not unusual. But they told him he would sit in on a meeting and they didn't let him do that. And so he's like, hey, if you don't respect me, I'm out. And they're mad that he's doing that. And so now they're going to do what they always do throughout history, is put some women on them. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're white, but I don't want to speak before I know. But that's what they do to black men. They put a charge against them about some sexual harassment. And, the rest is really history for them. They know exactly what to do. Out of all things, they're going to put some sex stuff on a black man.
I put a picture up of Mount Rushmore. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and who the other two clowns is.
Teddy Roosevelt and Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, and George Washington.
Okay, so name me the ones that owned slaves.
All of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my point. You care so much about black, you care so much about women and them being violated. Can we get y'all to tear that motherfucking snatcher down? Because every one of them up there was raping black women. Slave masters did it every night. Do you have a problem with that? I'm only asking. No, you ain't got no problem with it. And I'm going to tell each and every last one of y'all something. When I woke up, when I slid out my mom in 1968, I didn't have no friends the day I was born. I didn't have no fans, no friends. And any one of y'all that want to unfriend me, please get the phone. Because my opinion is my opinion. I watch you people destroy black people for no reason other than the fact that we are black. So can you do something about all these prominent white men that live and exist right now that have been accused of sexually related charges? And yet they still own ball clubs. They still sit in positions of power. They sit on the Supreme Court. They the president of the United States, and you ain't trying to cancel them. But you got a problem with what I say? Any one of y'all, black, white, indifferent, if you got a problem with what I say, which is my truth, fuck you, and that's what it is.
Right. And we can back that up because, again, what is the narrative that the media is putting out there? Fox, CNN, MSNBC, Asians are being attacked by black people. We found out today, like we've been telling you, that is just not true. Everything that you wanted to see is bad, blame it on the black man. Just blame everything on the black man. And if you go with that narrative, you're going to get away with it. But just like a prominent politician 40 years ago said, where does a black man go? But this is when he was under suspicion and being investigated. And he knew he was innocent. He said, where do I go to get my reputation back? Once you destroy this young man's career, and you look at entertainment of all of the people, the black people who were destroyed because they stood up for their truth and wouldn't back down. They ended up in jail or alcoholics or just their families are just out there homeless, whatever. Where do you go to get your reputation back if these allegations aren't true? This is not about Tony Busby. He is doing his job. That's what he's doing. This is not about Tony Busby, and he's one of the best out there. However, this is not about him. This is about allegations against a black athlete who commands the second highest salary ever in the NFL.
It is about Tony Busby. It is about him because he's willing to, spearhead a movement to take down Deshaun. I don't know. He says that there's women out there, but again, I want to ask, because I know when Tony was on our show, if I'm not mistaken, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, he said Trump had some sort of a fundraiser at his house or something like that. And then I guess, Sylvester Turner's team used that against him. They tied him to Trump. You guys remember that conversation when he was on the show? Well, did he have a cape on trying to hold, Trump accountable for the allegations, the many and countless allegations that were leveled against him behind some sexual, rape, even assaults and out of his own mouth, grabbing women by the kitty cat? Did he try to hold him accountable and stop that behavior then? Why now? Why now are you all of a sudden this Cape Crusader? I mean, it makes sense.
Well, here's my thing. We're giving lawyers too much credit, and I'm not trying to say that they're bad people or nothing, but we know lawyers fuck up the whole rotation when it comes to the law system and how they do it. Like I said, the one lawyer that came up with the I'm too rich to go to jail situation and all this other stuff. Again, if you're if I was a lawyer and somebody said, I'm going to give you $6 million to do some bullshit. Look at all of the lawyers that represented Trump, knowing that the case was bullshit, but they did it anyway for fame and fortune and all that other stuff. That's what I'm saying about Tony. Like I said, it's, as a person, he's just doing the job as a lawyer. And no offense, 5-star. To me, lawyers are scumbags. They're the last and the bottom of the earth. That's one of the worst professions to be in. But it's about the money.
I honestly don't think it's about the money. I mean, Kelly told on herself and she told on Tony. I'm assuming maybe she knows him. If he's that wealthy and it's not about the money, what is it about? I don't believe he's just doing his job. I think he's more or less doing a favor. That's what I think.
Well, here, I'm gonna dip my face off. I don't know if you'll be able to see me. I just want you to answer. If we can go after Deshaun, then I need people to look at Jeffrey Epstein, because I just pulled up some of the people that were on his fucking island with them babies. Let me think about it for a second. So you got Donald Trump. All right, you feel me? From the Trump family, you got the daughter Ivanka was over there. The ex-wife Ivana was there. Well, let's go on in here and dig a little bit deeper. Let's go over to Trump's young brother, Robert Trump. Let's go to New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. You want to keep talking? Let's go to Kerry Kennedy, Cuomo's ex-wife. Ted Kennedy Jr. Robert F. Kennedy's widow, Ethel Kennedy. These are all people that have been to that fucking island with them children, man. Let's go on and dig off into it. Mike Bloomberg. Didn't he just run for president? Motherfuckers like to do magic tricks on the island, too. Magician David Blaine was on the island. Alec Baldwin. Courtney Love.
Prince Philip.
All these people were on that island, man. You feel me? Phil Collins was on the island. Dustin Hoffman. Elizabeth Hurley. Mick Jagger. You want me to keep going? Tony Blair. Richard Branson. Jimmy Buffett. You want me to keep going? So here's my thing. You got all these people out there playing with kids. But you want to fuck with a black quarterback on some hearsay?
Right. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think we've seen this play out before. I mean, Deshaun being a 25-year-old kid who, seems like he just wants to play ball. And because he won't play ball, is my opinion, now they're going to throw some mud on him. And it's not, whenever I hear people say it's not about the money, you know who that reminds me of? Your Gloria Allreds and your Lisa, Bloombergs, those people who are the, ambulance chasers. It's not about the money. We just want them to be held accountable. We want the world to know what happened to them, and we need to put a stop to it. It's like, yeah, right. There's an agenda. If it's not about money, there's definitely an agenda. What else would it be about? So, I mean, if he said he didn't do it, so now what? If it's not about money and he's saying he didn't do it, you're not going to get your apology or whatever. Now what? What is it that you're trying to do?
Let me say this. It's certain things that you cannot do to a black man. You spit in our face, you got a problem. You might end up dead. But when you accuse us of anything sexual, regardless if you prove it or not, you tarnish us forever. You tarnish us forever. And then when it ain't proven, oh well, he's innocent. No, but you didn't drug him. You didn't drug him. You'd have cost him so much, his self-dignity, his self-respect. I would have recommended that you go out and prove this shit first, and then come and file suit and do what you need to do. This is what we do to us, and then y'all think this shit cool when you find them not guilty. When are y'all going to address all them fucking people I just named? And Donovan, honestly, I could have kept going. I could have kept going, dog. On the people that them motherfuckers had on that island playing with them kids, man. What type of motherfucking people is this, man? They all on the island playing with them kids, man. Huh? Man, look, I'm talking about unreal. This is unreal, bro. Unreal. And you come
real
go ahead.
quick, they can't say that it's a fake or made up or it's fake because this came from the flight log. The flight log, you have to put those people in there and who was on that flight in case the plane crashes. You don't know what they were doing as a pilot that I am. You can't refute that flight log, period.
Fayetteville Bowie says a rich person's island where kids were doing sexual acts, question mark. I don't know the whole story. Can I get the link? All you gotta do is put Jeffrey Epstein in. Put Epstein in. They put this man in an isolated cell. You know what I'm saying? What suicide proof. And he kills himself? No. Too many high-ranking officials. They had to kill him. They had to kill him.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing. The guards that were involved all kept their jobs.
Yeah, so, you know, I could be wrong, but I believe this is a hit job. Just, you know, just too many factors involved. And I'm not saying that there's not men out there stupid enough to do it. But in this day and age, you know, Deshaun seems like he's got a really good mama and aunties and different people, you know, that to get in his head. He speaks highly of them. We're living at the tail end of, I don't know if maybe we're still in the midst of Me Too, Believe Women. He's got the second highest contract in NFL history. Does that sound like somebody who's will put himself in a position to sexually assault not one but four women? And now all of a sudden, when he wants to leave the Texans and they don't want him to leave, now all of a sudden four women then came out and said he did something to him. Come on now. Who you think you talking to?
Well, you know, to me, I just don't believe it for the simple fact the second highest contract. He's right there in Houston with all those booty clubs and stuff jumping off. He doesn't have to assault anybody, just like the 5-star said. He doesn't have to do that. Do you know how many gentlemen's clubs where you got girls that are from, you know, wherever just trying to get the bag? Come on now. I mean, I'm not falling for that.
Deshaun Watson don't have to take no pussy, man. They chunking pussy at Deshaun, man. He good with Lynn over at the turkey leg hut. All he got to do is go over there and eat a fucking turkey leg. He get all the pussy he want. These people just don't believe that. No, but on the real, it ain't about what they believe. They know Deshaun didn't do it. Let's persecute this black motherfucker. Deshaun stood up for some black issues, man. Deshaun went and took some jerseys over to a historically black high school, man, with George Floyd's name on it, man. Any way that they can come back and get at this dude, that's what they gonna do, man. Y'all know Demetri and Donovan, I like y'all. I like y'all. You good people. But you know why they won't fuck with y'all? Because they scared of me. They scared of me. They scared I got them goons, and I do. I got them goons ready. But see, they get to fucking with people who got a lot more to lose than Gary Monroe. So if he was dumb enough, that's why the settlement thing was put out there first. If he was dumb enough to bite on it and pay it, they'd expose that. Deshaun is a poor kid from Alabama that did what he needed to do to get to the level that he needed to get to. And I just don't see this dude who's under a microscope doing the things that he do. The NFL already tried to come after him when he opened his restaurant because he violated the COVID restrictions on. Come on, man. Y'all steady fucking with this dude. I ain't do shit when Peyton Manning was out there raping motherfuckers.
Yeah. Who's that? Jameis Winston just signed a 1-year contract with the Saints with a cap hit that came down this year. The salary is going up again in a year or two, whatever the new TV contract is coming up. So they're trying to screw with this man's money. They are trying to screw with this man's money.
Jameis is trash. And he getting all that New Orleans pussy. He ain't got to rape nobody.
Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, that goes to show you how serious these big sports leagues and the money that is being made within these leagues is. I mean, if they could pull down LeBron James, they would do it by now. But see, he's been with his high school sweetheart since high school, and they can't really touch him. I mean, his mother was acting up for a minute, but that ain't really him. So here's a man that I think recently he just bought a sports team and got involved in that. And they're mad about that. Yeah. I mean, it's like anytime a black man or a black woman is in a position of power to call shots and to take their money and divest into the league, they don't want it, or they're going to assassinate him to where, you know, he'll not even get picked up, or he'll just get screwed over and won't make as much money as his white colleague. I think this is all about the money. They're mad because he wants to leave, because they're not giving him no help. That's a goddamn shame down there. He wants to leave, and he is one of the biggest draws in Houston. So it's all about a money grab.
LeBron makes it because he don't fuck with him. He stay the fuck away from him. And he do what he need to do, make his money and go on by that business. He don't even waste his time with him. Fuck y'all. And see, Deshaun that got to that point where he like, fuck y'all. He ain't giving no interviews. He ain't doing nothing. Got to answer to them people. And you're right. I'm in Houston. I've never been a Texan fan. Every quarterback that came through that bitch and got slaughtered.
Well, what's that guy, Carr? He was the first quarterback.
David
Carr. That man his career was cut short because they gave this man no protection. And this brother's 25 years old. He doesn't have a line. So, you know, I'm glad he got the contract that he did, because there's no guarantee he's going to make it out of Houston without some kind of physical problems or injury in the route that he's going. All he wanted to do was sit in on the meeting, just like your boy up in Seattle. It's almost the same type situation. I want to sit in and make a little bit more decisions so y'all can bring me some help so I can do what I do. Simple.
Yeah, but I think the other thing that people need to realize too is, you know, Farrakhan called ball players highly paid slaves, right? And so regardless of how much money Deshaun was paid, they let him know you don't make no decisions here. We don't care how much we pay you. We need you to run ball. That's all you need to be concerned with. And, you know, I'm sure that was an eye-opening experience for him, that, wow, they really don't respect me. And, you know, I'm sure, I don't know if hurt his feelings or whatever to the tune that he wants to leave, but I think all ball players, especially if you're in a league where it's, you know, 70% give or take black players to the rest of, you know, the players, and 100% with the exception of, you know, the guy in Jacksonville, 100% white owned owners for the football team. I mean, that go to show you right there, you playing on a plantation. So no matter how much money you making as a black man, as long as you have an owner, I know they changed their names, you always gonna do what they say. And I think that was a prime example of them proving that to him. And Gary, you brought up Peyton Manning. A lot of people don't know about that. I think he was in college. He put his genitals on top of the sports therapist's head as she was tending to his leg. And, you know, she told everybody about it. They, being Peyton and his father, ruined her career. Everywhere she went, she was ruined. The two guys that was in the locker room with her and that saw the incident, two white guys, I think they were both white. They say, yeah, we saw them do it. And they never played. Their careers were ruined, all because they wanted to protect, you know, Peyton Manning, and his father was in on it too. And reason really, and I think she won a lawsuit, but then they wrote a book and talked about it and called her all kind of whores and stuff. And she, you know, like black dudes. And a whole host of things they did. And she's a white woman, by the way, that they did to that white woman. And no one ever even mentions it. And you can see Peyton Manning on just about every commercial on TV. But he got away with it. So where is Tony's cape to make sure that he gets his just due? I'm wondering.
Les Miles was at LSU. And last week, years later, you the coach at Kansas, and you got to resign your position for some shit that you did with some young white staffers back when you were at LSU. They allow this shit to go on. But you want to control us. See, Deshaun is smart. You ain't going to never get that signing bonus back. That $70 million you gave him. So if he don't never play another down of football, he good. He good, and he figured that out. You didn't know how to get him back to the field. Well, the thing was, he didn't want to come back. And as a coach, David Culley, you're the coach. I tell you something from an old school coach, me, to you, the head coach of the Texans. If they don't want to play for you, let them go. They'll never give you 100%. Figure out a way to let them go, get as much as you can get for the kid, and then go about your business. He does not want to play for you guys. And you definitely, right now, by not standing next to him on this shit, he'll never play for you again anyway.
I mean, to me, if you can do this to him, think about the message that sends to all these young and up and coming stars. Everybody wants to make that money and make that big contract. But now if Deshaun bows down to this and cowers to it, I mean, if they can do it to him, they can do it to anybody else. Negroes, get in line. That's what they're going to do. That's what they're going to continue to do. And that's the message that they're going to put out.
Let me tell you something, man. You and Dimitri. These people talking about Busby. I ain't got no problem with Tony Busby. You feel what I'm saying? I think Busby would have been a better mayor than what we had. From an attorney standpoint, Busby's a monster. But that goddamn Rusty Harden ain't played with me. Deshaun Watson got one of the coldest to ever breathe. And all I ask, and somebody out there, ain't nobody answering me. When is the last time Rusty Harden lost a case? It don't happen. So those out there that's going to rock with Busby, God bless you. Rusty Harden is Tom Brady. He don't lose the big game.
And then when this is all said and over, and whatever these allegations may be or whatever, I mean, how is this man going to get his reputation back? And that's the whole thing. Just the allegation of a black man, it feeds into the stereotype of black men being sexual deviants, and we're not. And how is he going to get that reputation back? What team is going to want to sign him for max money, or whatever? It's just a character assassination all the way around. And I mean, if they win or lose, and that's why I said Tony is just a lawyer. He's doing his job. I don't know how much they gave Tony to take the case, but I believe everybody has a price. If they gave him $10 million to win or lose, they're going to, I don't know if he's going to take the case. I would, but again, he's out there to do a hit piece, and there it is, and it's going to be where it's going to be, period.
Well, everybody want to act like it's not biased. Let's look at what the league did to Ray Rice. Let's look at what the league did to Ray Rice. Now let's look at what the league did to the white boy that played for the Dolphins that was terrorizing that other boy, beating him up, all kinds of shit. They kicked Richie Incognito. How many years ago was that? Shit, the Raiders just cut him last week. Yep, anybody black gets the death penalty. But the white players, they get away with bloody fucking murder. And the sad part about it, Richie Incognito, he was a decent lineman. He wasn't the best. But they would give him a pass before they give a black man a pass. The only thing saved my man, what was his name, played for the Ravens at linebacker?
Ray Lewis.
He fuck around and retired. But remember, they were going to run him through the ringer too.
Killer Ray Rice. Killer.
And, just to talk about, the reputation thing, you guys know I'm in PR. Just look at it. It's a white woman that came on here. I think her name was Kelly. I believe Tony. Why would he lie? He's such a decent guy. Why would he lie? Of course you believe Tony, because Tony's a white man. But Tony don't have any evidence that Deshaun did any of that. If he does, he hasn't said it. He doesn't have any, no hard evidence. So why don't you believe Deshaun? This is a case that Tony's, obviously it's come to him, allegedly by these women. Why don't you believe him? What's the difference? You just automatically believe that Tony's telling the truth and, he's a lawyer, the case came to him, whatever. But that just goes to show you how, especially when it comes to Black men, all that needs to be said is an inkling of he did something and people run away with it. Look how many times Michael Jackson has been crucified even after he's been dead. Look how many times he's been crucified and people run away with believing it, even though it's been, disproved that he did any of that, but people still believe it. And so, yeah, people, I just hate to say it, but Black men can't win. And whoever put Tony up to it, because I'm saying I believe that he was put up to it, they know that Deshaun can't win. So, again, if we can't have him, y'all ain't going to have him either.
Yeah,
remember,
real quick,
Michael Vick went to prison for some fucking dogs. And he wasn't even at home the day the motherfuckers came. But y'all still out here cockfighting. Motherfucker just died the other day from cockfighting. Because the fucking rooster got away and cut his ass in his nuts. I'm dead serious. It was in the fucking news. But you send a Black man to jail for fighting some dogs, but y'all fighting some motherfucking roosters. And been fighting roosters. Y'all some dirty motherfuckers.
Well, it's not even that. Think about all the Black men that are arrested falsely and the case is dismissed or whatever. Just the mere fact that they were arrested, not that they were convicted, they were just arrested. They can't get jobs. They can't do this. They can't do that. Oh, you were arrested for selling drugs. No. Yeah, I was arrested for selling them, but the case was dropped. I was never found guilty. But that stigma follows us for the rest of, especially a sexual stigma will follow us for the rest of our time down there. And they just don't, it's just funny how they don't see that. And, and since we're talking about Donald Trump and old girl that was on here earlier, Mrs. Super Trumpster, what about the white woman that has the dress? And this ain't Monica Lewinsky, the white woman that has the evidence of the DNA of Donald Trump. She's saying, hey, you raped me so many years ago. And she supposedly got the proof. And he's been fighting. Why of all the people he's been fighting her the most? She's suing him for defamation. So we got to automatically believe her, right? It just doesn't, there's just a double standard. There's just no doubt about that.
They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. And I would say this to us as Black people, we got to start staying on code. We got to start riding with our people until further notice. These are allegations, okay? Just because a white man who was prominent in this community said it so, and, I don't know who these women are. That don't mean it's true. People get accused of stuff. Hell, I know somebody who went up the river for 12 years for something they didn't do. It was a Black man messing with a white woman. She got mad because he wanted to break it off with her. She didn't even show up to court. They went and subpoenaed her and brought her to court and says, if you don't testify and show up, we're going to hold you in contempt. They had to go find the woman because she didn't even want to testify no more. And they knew the case was bull, but they sent them up the river anyway. So the point that I'm making is we got to stand behind our people. I'm sorry. We can't just keep allowing, and I'm not likening Tony to white supremacy. Somebody, I had a little back and forth with them earlier. They say they don't think that Tony is racist. And I said, well, might he be a little greedy for clout? I don't know. But that was really before I had a little bit more information. And to me, it sounds like he's, being put up to the task of bringing down Deshaun because he won't do what they want him to do, and that's stay. But we got to stop believing it, just because we hear it. Oh, he must be guilty. We're gonna wait and find out. Let's put all the evidence on the table, weigh it, and then we can go from there. But hell, let's do like they do. Let's do like Peyton Manning's fans have done all these years. Even though there's plenty of evidence that he did what that lady accused him of doing, they ride behind him regardless. We need to start riding with our people.
Well, I'm gonna say this here. I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna stand up for him. I'm not backing off of it. And that's what it is. I mean, as an attorney, you have the right to represent who the hell you choose to represent. That's your business. But as black people, and this is something, if Deshaun is watching, never met you, big homie, but I want to give you some game. I'm from the city of Houston. I want you to hear me real well. All them bitch-ass black politicians, where they at right now? Why they ain't standing up for you? Why the fuck they ain't standing up for you? We just some regular folk that don't give a damn, and we gonna stand up for you. Where all the motherfuckers got all that money up at you? All them personal appearances you did for they funk asses. Where they at right now? You only as good as they need you to be for them. But I tell you what, I'm a jackass lion, so I appreciate you bringing them uniforms over there for them kids, bro, because they don't get shit out the deal. You don't even know how much you help those kids over there and uplifted those kids over there. That's what you should be doing. But all these other motherfuckers, and what they're doing is the classic example of trying a case in the media. They're trying this case in the media. Where the evidence? Where all the shit? If you're going to put it out there, put the shit out there. I think I do a better job, and the War Zone does a better job of putting shit out there with evidence to back it up than this bullshit case that's been put out there. It ain't no way in hell I'd put that shit out there. Because if I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to show everything. That's just how I feel. Final thoughts, Mr. Donovan?
Well, again, just because it's not Tuesday doesn't mean you can't donate to our candidate. We are going to go shake up the Houston School District, and we're going to get Jerry Monroe all the funding he needs to get to that school boards because he cares about our children first. Everybody else could ride the coattails after, but he's B1 all the way. So again, you don't have to wait. Some of y'all got y'all stimulus last night and stuff like that. Hey, do something that you can do and donate to the campaign, and and let's get our candidate on that school board.
Was that final thoughts? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, my final thoughts are, again, we gonna ride with them until further notice. Black people have got to start getting on code. That means we stick together. That means black first. That's what that means. That means we don't jump ship just because somebody, levels an allegation against one of our people. We stay until we get all the evidence we need to make an informed decision. And when we start doing that, those folks will stop coming after our people so easily and thinking that they can get away with doing that. We've seen this playbook time and time and time again. Black man don't want to play ball. Oh, okay. We won't lynch him physically, but we gonna lynch him in the media. We gonna put this thing out there about him. And, Hillary Clinton did the same thing to Barack Obama when they were debating. She probably made a point to say, oh, well, he voted out, or he didn't show up a lot, no vote or whatever it was. And especially, and she named how many sex bills, laws that he didn't show up to vote in favor of or against. So all she knew she had to do was to put Barack Obama, a black man, in the same sentence with some sex stuff. And that would innately trigger the minds of people who already think like that about black men. So let's start riding with our people. Get all the information before we make an informed decision.
My final thoughts. Deshaun Washington, I'm rocking with you, homie. Ain't nothing they can tell me. I'm going to ride with you even when the wheels fall off, if they fall off. I don't give a fuck, me. You people been out there raping black women for 400 years. I don't want to hear nothing y'all got to say. I'm just being straight up with y'all, man. I don't want to hear nothing y'all got to say. Well, man, you need to speak on the Asians. I don't need to speak on it. I don't want to sound hateful, but you still hanging black folk from trees. So until you can fix that shit, I don't want to talk about that either. I tell you what, thank y'all for donating to the campaign. And tomorrow night, the money man gonna be in the building. You're getting that money right now. And we got to help you figure out what to do with it. You feel what I'm saying? So it is what it is, and it's a reason why we the best in the building. I want to thank my good friend, Donovan Sadiq, the Queen, Demetra K, and I am the 5-star general. Tomorrow night, Walter gonna be in the building. You got that stimulus, you got your taxes. Let him teach you how to flip it, baby. Tell him I need to see that jersey. We rocking with you, number 4. And that's what it is. Even when you get your shit, get up out of here like you supposed to. Fuck you, Houston, Texas. And I said that. Until tomorrow, we'll holler at you.